Hello and welcome. Steven said my cord was doing something, so I was untangling, and I felt like I had a Jedi braid. Hello and welcome to the HPTV podcast, where we talk about all things Harry Potter, and this is a breaking news edition as we have the casting for Gilderoy Lockhart. I'm Mitchell here along with Jamie and Steven. We are siblings who love Potter. And you can follow us at HPTVPod on all the socials or email us at hptvpodcast@gmail.com. But let's get to the point. We got someone, and it is not Jon Snow, who voiced Gilderoy Lockhart in the full-cast audiobooks, and there were rumors that he may take on the full role. But we got someone who can definitely play kind of dumb and beautiful and evil, and it is Sir Nicholas Hoult. I was thinking Sir Nicholas de Minzy. No, he's not a sir, but he could be one day.
He could be knighted.
He's a pretty big deal when we talk about they haven't really gotten a star since Lithgow. Nicholas Hoult is legitimate and, on the younger side when it comes to all of this age range. What were your initial takeaways, Stephen, on seeing this pop up?
I mean, I remember him most from Superman, and I liked him in Superman. So then I went and looked up, and he's done a lot of evil, which I thought was interesting because Gilderoy, I always thought of as more of kind of like a bumbling kind of idiot who's getting away with it. But I would kind of like to see him as played a little bit more nefarious, a little bit more evil.
They kind of go hand in hand because he gets real evil at the end of the movie, but even his like arrogance and his dunderheadedness in the manipulation in the beginning, I think it really clicked in my head when they announced it. I was like, I can really see this coming from him. And interestingly, his early roles that I saw him in, and that's not About a Boy. He did About a Boy when he was very young, very cute kid. But I think he was in Warm Bodies, which is like a zombie rom-com. He was Beast in X-Men. Mm-hmm. So those are kind of two good guys. In the UK, he's actually really known for being on a show called Skins, which was like it wasn't Euphoria before Euphoria, but it was like a teen soap that was edgy and stuff. That's kind of was his big first thing he did here after About a Boy. And then it's not too long before he starts to be those. He's in Clash of the Titans and A Single Man. He actually has quite an interesting collection. A lot of these things are X-Men, but I barely remember him as Beast other than in that one movie. And
you get the Marvel universe, though. You get a lot of bit parts where you just kind of show up in the back.
Well, it was the Fox Marvel universe. He was a great one was Mad Max Fury Road. He plays one of the psycho. I can't even remember.
He's a good
they
psycho.
Called him. He also played J.R. Tolkien in a biopic, and that is such an airplane movie. And I remember seeing him in that. So I think he's had pretty balanced roles. He was in Juror number 2 last year, which I heard really good things about, but I did not watch. And then, he did Superman, which I'm sure is what is top of people's mind. But he's not winning Oscars, but he has a really great and respectable wide range. Jamie, what were your takeaways?
I think it's good. I didn't see it coming at all. Like, not even that I was like, oh, it's going to be Kit Harington. I don't know. I thought it'd be maybe kind of a nobody or someone like I thought of Sam Clifton. What's that guy's name?
Oh, the guy who Fennec from Hunger Games.
Games, and
he might be a little old. Even Nicholas technically might be a little old.
Well, okay, don't call him old because he's a year younger than me. So this is getting weird because Papa Aceto's a year younger than me, and now it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm older than all these characters. But I thought, and not saying that it would be Sam, but someone like that, like someone who was known for being really good looking. And Nicholas Hoult is a cutie, don't get me wrong, but I just never, I don't think of him as being like a hottie, but I think he's he's good looking, and I'm interested to see the charm because I do think there's this underlying, like you guys were just talking about, evilness, to Lockhart, but mixed with vain, egotistical, but he's a bad guy. He's erasing people's memories and taking credit for all the good they do. So I think he will be really good at playing that element up a little bit more. But it'll be cool to see if he can do it in a way that kids wouldn't quite pick up on, and he can charm the ladies, but certain people, McGonagall has no time for this crap.
I missed a big part of his credits, and that is a Hulu show called The Great, and there were 3 seasons of it with him and Elle Fanning, and he essentially plays a king who has to grapple with coming in and out of power. I only watched the first season, but he's an arrogant absolute idiot. And I'm like, oh, that must be where I'm getting this from, that this fits really well for him.
I never watched that, but I remember that.
We did say early on that this could be one where they could get a big actor because it's a 1-season commitment. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he comes back to film an episode for season 5, because that I just want that kind of continuity.
Me too.
He was also in a good movie called The Menu, which is like I don't like horror films. It was like a sneaky good movie with Voldemort, actually, the OG Voldemort. The other thing is, while Gilderoy's supposed to be handsome, I kind of imagined him to be like Hugh Grant handsome, which is like this British, charming, aloof handsome who's not actually objectively handsome. It just kind of is this aura that he has about him.
I imagined Hugh Grant when I read the books.
Yes.
So that's funny.
Yeah, I did too.
And I always joke about Hugh Grant. I think I've said this on the pod before. Like, you would not, like, if you just saw that guy, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's a super hot guy. But like, his charm and all the things he does make him attractive. But I think Nicholas Hoult is an attractive guy. I mean, as a person attracted to males on this podcast, he's a good looking guy. It's just not how I imagine Gilderoy, but no one's really exactly how I imagined anyone. And again, I think they're going for like acting substance over just typecasting off of looks, which is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool to remember too that they're fleshing out the adult stories more, right, with the additional time. So it'll be kind of cool to kind of see what else we learn about Gilderoy, what other kind of sneaky stuff he does in the background. I wonder if there is a secondary motive, for example, for being at Hogwarts or any of that kind of stuff, besides just being famous and writing and selling books. Because really, that's kind of how it's sold in the books, is that he gets to force every student to buy his whole collection of books, basically, and so he makes a crap ton of money off of it. But there's probably more there. I wonder if the need for money has to do with, McGonagall like gambling debts, or if he's somehow otherwise in trouble with the Goblin Mafia or something like that.
It is ripe for maybe having some sort of other ulterior motive, but he's already a pretty big part. And Kenneth Branagh obviously did well with very little, and it's very funny the other roles he's done and the other things he's directed and the people he's been married to. Like, he's a very random person in pop culture, but I don't think of him as attractive. And when it is, I actually think a more gruff looking Kenneth Branagh is a better looking guy than, like, they essentially made him look like a blonde Hugh Grant. And JK has said that this is based on someone she knew. And again, she was like, this person is so arrogant. They don't know. And I'm also thinking of other figures in the world, the Gianni Infantino, people who, like, they might be so in their head that they think everyone's dumber than them, and they truly think they're getting away with everything that they're doing. And so
it's like that song.
I could
You're
definitely
so vain. You probably think the song is about you. That's from my.
We were with a group of people. Oh no, we were watching a show called Secret Millionaire, or something like that on Netflix. That's like a Traders ripoff, but it just doesn't. The game doesn't work. But we did watch 2 seasons because it was good background stuff while we were on vacation. And they were asking, "What is your favorite rom-com?" And I was like, "I know it is the most standard rom-com, and it is not of a golden period of rom-coms. But How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days." And that's what she sings at the party at the end. It's a great rom-com. Okay, so, Matthew McConaughey. This has to do with Gilderoy Lockhart. It doesn't, not at all. Although Matthew McConaughey,
yes, 20 years ago,
coulda, shoulda, woulda. Yeah, it came full circle. You doubted me, but it came back around.
Always to Matthew. Always to Matthew.
So one thing I still really want, though, is, because I thought about this probably far too much, but I really need to see Kit Harington in a role where he's blonde still, though. I just, that's something that we need in the
Steven, could you pull that up on, this is, to me, an appropriate use of AI here, okay? That's something we couldn't Photoshop, and I'm just so curious what this
I could Photoshop it, but I cannot do it instantly right now. Or
to make it look so good. And
I did put up on our TikTok a blonde picture of.
You did. He has been blonde before. It'll be. I mean, that's something I'm pretty confident in them dressing for.
Does he even say he's blonde? Does it say he's blonde in the book?
I think so.
Yeah, you should like
golden hair or something.
This is now someone on the Reddit says that he auditioned for Harry in 2000 and he would be the right age, which is kind of wild.
Our age.
Again, he is Oh, there's a picture of him reading the OG book. That is adorable.
It does say wavy blonde hair.
He is a more famous option, but he's not exactly super celebrity guy.
Yeah.
And he is a really good actor.
I'm excited. It makes me very excited for the depth and the just the options it brings to how
this puts a lot of pressure on who they get for Sirius Black now. I feel like that's the next. I know they don't need it till Azkaban, but and Lupin back to back. They've got to get some good people for that. Although I wouldn't mind if they don't get people super famous, because then they're more invested. They're going to be in more episodes, and that doesn't distract from things. But you'd think they're going to get a big name for one of them.
Well, and I also feel like with Tom Riddle being in this next season, they have to have Voldemort kind of figured out. I think they should. I would hope that they make the person kind of look like the person, or I don't know, because I really want to see that middle. If I don't see that middle Voldemort, I'm going to be pissed.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have Voldemort and this doesn't come out. By the way, this did leak that there was going to be a big announcement today. So it's interesting that that was a big rumor, and I haven't seen a rumor like that in a while, and boom, out of nowhere, this did come to be. So hopefully where there's smoke, there's fire. And again, we do have Back to Hogwarts coming up in 20 days. They still haven't announced what the London activity is. I might ask it off of work. We can address a couple other bits of news that we've seen pop up. Well, we should address a couple things. One, we have not listened to the official Harry Potter podcast that they've come out with, because that's the competition and doesn't look good. No one's talking about it. It can't be good. Two, the train thing that's going on in Southern California. I sent you guys a TikTok today that was a good review of it that really broke down what it was.
Yeah.
And it looks really cheesy. It's really high school musical. No, theater kids going to town. And I respect you, but it starts off in a tent before you go to the real. Now, there's one other big piece of news. Oh, they're opening the biggest Harry Potter store in the world here on Oxford Street. Now, Oxford Street's been dying, but they're going to pedestrianize it, and it's going to have warm butterbeer, which is all I needed to know. And it's going to be really cool. Back to this. Now people are saying Kent Harington should play Sirius, and I don't think he should.
I like him as Sirius, but I get it. I don't know.
I might take Rob Stark as Sirius over.
What's he up to? He was like, man,
good,
that Eternals really.
Well, he did Eternals, and he had this show on Netflix that went really, I think it was called The Bodyguard or something. And it was so good. And they never did a second season of it. But in it, he was Scottish, and he kept saying ma'am, but it sounded like mom, because that is how the Scottish say it. And he was working with his superior, and he'd be like, mom. And it really bothered me. Anyway, let's see what else he's been up to. What's his name in real life? This is so
Madden.
Rude. Yeah, and he was Cinderella.
Richard Madden, yeah. He has been in a lot of things. I just can't think of them, but I just felt like he really took off from Game of Thrones more than anyone else for a minute, and then it got like...
Well, he got killed off so early, he kind of had to take a chance. Yeah, I mean, listen, he was in Bastille Day, which kind of failed. And then he was in Rocket Man, 1917, The Eternals, all back to back. In 2024, he was in something called Killer Heat, and that sounds like a career killer. That sounds like something that was on, like,
that movie that the guy from Smallville did, Tom, but he did this movie. I think it was called The Fog, and that was like the end of the end. After that, he only ever came back for when they did like the Arrowverse crossovers and stuff. That kind of like sealed.
He was in that and Cheaper by the Dozen and nothing else.
He's gonna be on a show called Trinity, which is about naval officers.
He was in Citadel. So give me 37 seconds to go to Citadel. So Amazon did this huge show with him and Priyanka Chopra, I think, called Citadel. And they were creating an interconnected universe where they had an Italian show and an Indian show, and they were all going to cross over and be like this international spy universe. And I think it's a great idea, but apparently, like, I was dying to watch it. And then I just got busy. Like right now, I haven't seen Hot D. It's just been the busiest time of year for me. I just started Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso's only released one, so I guess I'm caught up. But it's just like it passed me by, and then everyone's like, oh, it sucks, and they're going to cancel it. I think one of the shows actually got a second season, but he was part of, again, Amazon kind of put him front and center in a big swing. Anyway, I don't know if he'll be cast in Harry Potter, but if you were in Game of Thrones, there's a chance. There's a chance.
Yeah, it was the main American version of the show for Citadel that got a second season this year.
What's it called?
So it's called, it's just Citadel.
But he was in Citadel. Were there two
That's what I'm saying. Citadel got its second season. Yeah, it came out this year, 2023 and 2026. So like there was a big break in the middle, but yeah, it's out. And I remember, I think I watched like the first couple of episodes. It just didn't grab me.
Yes,
that was another season. Came out in
the
May.
Italian one is Citadel Diana, and the Indian one is Citadel Honey Bunny. Which
such a fun idea. Which is like the whole things about streaming is that you can do things like that, but then it sucks when it
they spent
or
so
good stuff that
lower
speaking
budget.
of Game of Thrones people, like Ponies is so good and it just got canceled like a month ago. But it was like really good, but people don't watch it because everyone like wants to wait for it to have multiple seasons and then watch it, but then people don't watch the first season.
Or to be really good.
They don't watch.
Whereas
it was really good.
There's so much streaming stuff. That's the thing too, is like how could you possibly keep up with all of it? You gotta
unless there's some niche marketing or star, people go to Netflix as one of their first ones, and that's why Netflix will have something pop off. But Netflix is a big problem, and there were a ton of headlines about this. I'm not saying this is an original thought of mine. Is they're having a lot of second seasons that are struggling, and people have pointed out the obvious that you wait 18 to 24 months for a second season and that they don't advertise, and then it just kind of pops up and it doesn't have this momentum to it, this regularity. But also, I think some of those shows get some false starts where people kind of just binge the first season and it's bingeable, but then they're not that interested beyond that. But people go to Netflix and just flip whatever's new, whereas they're not really doing that with Prime. Ponies was on Peacock. I don't even know if Ponies came out here, and if it did, it was on like Now TV, which is quite niche. Like, it's hard to give something a chance to like pop.
Well, and the budgets they need for that show.
Everyone was
Russia 60s.
They got rid of Wheel of Time, and then Amazon did, and they're spending all this money on Lord of the Rings, which I really want to like, and I just don't. But I am going to keep watching it. And then they spent at least $300 million on Citadel. So and Apple, they're still spending money and giving third seasons to crap no one's watching. It's wild. But I appreciate it.
Apple's like doing it though, because they're doing like, I don't know, they don't do as many series, but they do get like Silo. It's really good. If you haven't seen Silo, you should watch it.
Renewed this little weird British family show called Trying for a fifth season out of the blue. Like, they can just do stuff. They are also going to do Jamie, you're muted. They're going to do Brandon Sanderson's books, which I'm very excited about.
I'm excited too, but I don't know if it's going to last because it's like so expensive. And that's the thing. So like these shows that don't cost as much to make, I feel like, but when you're putting all this money in, like speaking of Harry Potter, like if it doesn't go crazy, like it has to hit these numbers that are insane to equal out because they're making basically weekly movies. Like,
yeah.
And if your cast isn't really cheap or not, yes,
I did see Spider-Man.
There's a point to this, I promise. But Spider-Man, I wanted to see it again. I haven't seen it twice. But like, it's so cool because if you look it up, like, they did so many practical effects. Like, they were so much less CGI than they've done in the past. And I feel like the industry has gotten really addicted to the CGI and to just, virtual everything, like the volume, all that. Like, if they could do some of this fantasy stuff just with more practical effects, it would cut the budget down so much. And I think it would look better. I think it would stand the test of time better.
It needs to feel more tactile. And like, that is something also Christopher Nolan, obviously he's one of the few people who's given carte blanche to shoot in these crazy locations and do these things practically. But that's something that was really missing from some of those Star Wars shows. So I'm really hoping Starfighter is going to come through on that. But Harry Potter, look, we know we're getting 2 seasons, and I can't speak to the quality, obviously, yet, although the trailer, if anything, had me feeling very positive. I just get the feeling that I think a ton of people are going to watch this. I think it's going to be massive. I really do. And I think that's going to get us a 3rd season. And I think they would be so hard pressed to cancel it after doing 3 or 4 of them. But it does then have to be really good. And what I was remembering is, they added one of the writers as a showrunner for season 2 because they need to get these first 3 or 4 seasons out pretty quickly while these kids still look young. They're having the issue with Percy Jackson right now because the 2nd season was crap and these kids already look old, and they're really determined to get all 5 in. Anyway, that's just where I'm at. One other thing, Jamie, you've been muted this whole time.
I'm trying not to interrupt you.
But you were clearly speaking. I could see it on the side of your Hello Kitty
I was just saying
headphones.
that it wasn't crap. It just wasn't as good. But
I know.
I didn't think I needed to say it.
But it's also the worst book. So people are like, ooh, maybe that's why. And I'm like, yeah, but then you should improve it. You should change it. Although they did change the movies too much and that ruined it. Like the Maze Runner. You guys, I think we might get a Maze Runner remake at some point. They did them so dirty, like worse than the Divergent changes, because from the second and third movies of a Divergent are so off.
Cutting it off
I had a point and I don't remember. Oh, the trailer. Back to the Harry Potter trailer. I'm really on one today. I should be in bed. You guys need to know. Breaking news. Mitchell just got back from vacation, has to go to work in the morning. I'm here. Anyway, there is some word that they have lightened the coloring on the trailer in the newer, because they've done some sizzle reels for what's coming up on HBO Max, and a lot of people say that they've lightened the coloring because people are like, ooh, it's a little too dark. And there was a lot of complaints that Moana, the live action movie, was a little bit like literally colorized too dark, which I didn't see it, don't know, but I'm like, I do anything Hawaii wise to be very bright.
I did see that.
I did see it, and I want to just defend it. Okay,
Dwayne,
I thought
go.
it was pretty
too soon.
It was too soon.
They're all too soon, but they're gonna make them anyway.
Cinderella wasn't too soon.
It was like 40 years later for Cinderella.
Well, what are you going to do about that? Okay. But I have to say, at first I was like, I'm not going to go see another live action because like even like Stitch, which everyone loved and did so well, I was like, I don't need to sit through this again. And I didn't love the changes they made for that. But culturally watching it, I thought it was pretty cool. And we grew up around a lot of Polynesian people. And so it was really cool to see that representation. I don't think The Rock should have been in it. And the hair on both of them, the wigs on both of them were not great. But overall, it was actually a really good movie. And it makes me sad that people aren't going to go see it because it's a really big cultural thing that like those people got to represent their culture in that movie. And I liked it. And I thought it was really good. And I still cried like I cried in Moana at the end.
I think I've only seen Moana like 1.5 times.
Watching Moana? That's a crier? I didn't know that.
Nafiti, bro.
Oh my gosh, when she gets the heart to Nafiti and her grandmother?
I can't believe I remember the word Nafiti.
And
like
his
number of movies I've cried in and like
threw him in the ocean.
I mean, I guess
you have no heart.
The only movie I can remember crying in is Pearl Harbor. Because at the end where the one
that's the only one.
I guess spoiler, but it came out 20 years ago now.
I just want to know why. That movie's so bad, but good.
No, but the one dies even though he cheated, and then he raises the other guys. Like, come on.
But the hottest he's ever been is in that movie.
Well, that is a
Hartnett?
really hot cast.
Hartnett's hottest role. You know what? Ben Affleck's hottest role also
is
that movie.
You know what Kate Beckinsale's hottest role is? People think I'm going to say Underworld, but it's actually Click.
It's Click. I agree.
Like, I don't want to use the acronym that we're all thinking because she's a mother in that film. I don't use that acronym really, but I've never been more like that is the epitome of suburban mom hot. Just saying.
Well, I don't even know. I think she looks too hot to be married to Adam Sandler. Movie, but
Adam Sandler, that's kind of what he does.
Was with Michael Sheen. But I agree. I think she's the most beautiful in that movie. I think about that. When do we think they're going to film season 2? Because they just had put out a casting thing for Jenny, like a month ago.
Well,
it says the fall is what it says in that article where it announces.
And also, I mean, if they're casting now, they could turn that around. She could be ready to go, kid. Come on. I am wondering if they're going to cut the other girl's screen time because she doesn't need to be. She's in that one scene, and they could have expanded that, especially because we're going to get more at the Burrow. But they don't have to. So is that...
Yeah.
And I just want to know what happened. Also, we didn't talk about Serendipity. She's better looking in Click than in Serendipity, even though it's a wonderful romantic film. Thank you.
I agree.
You're right. So hopefully they're filming in the fall. And I hope fall means like September 21st. Let's go. Get on
It's the first day of fall. These kids are growing.
Around.
Well, now I'm trying to figure out what part can we get Kate Beckinsale in the series for. What could she play?
She's a...
Maybe we do
Narcissa? Has she played a baddie?
Well, she's blonde.
I mean, she is a baddie.
Bellatrix?
Yeah, that's true. Remember how Nicole Kidman's just been in like 40 things in the last couple years? Anyway.
I know. I'm so excited for practice.
She could be Trelawney. Go on, Steve.
No, I say, who this is? I mean, we're going off on a tangent here. But the hottest, who I think stayed really normal, was Jessica Alba. I always loved Jessica Alba when I was younger. And she's like a normal person and everything.
Maybe.
I mean, it's still pretty hot for her age.
And she might be drinking goat's blood.
To all the famous people listening who are like, you don't know us, don't talk about us. We assume the worst, but we love to watch you on the silver screen. Okay.
Put it in the comments if you hate it that much. Let's chat about it in the comments.
Don't want to offend Jessica Alba. That's for sure.
Of course not.
Because she's
Jessica
obviously
Alba's
listening.
Does she have a lifestyle brand? I picture her as doing some Reese Witherspoon
invented
stuff.
like the Honest diapers and all that. She started.
The Honest Kids, like juice and all that branding.
Can I say this because Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard, and I like Dax Shepard's podcast and stuff. They have the Hello Bello brand, which I think is doing well, and people seem to like it. I get such cheap diapers here. I could not imagine going for a premium brand unless these ones were really underperforming in some way. Diapers are so expensive. Like, I'm scared to have kids in the States because I've just been so spoiled. Sainsbury's, if you're in the United Kingdom, go to Sainsbury's. Their diapers are high quality and so incredibly cheap.
Ones, though, and they were really cheap. That's part of why I got them.
I think it's parasol diapers. I would get every once in a while for my son, one of the kids. Those diapers.
I spoil myself with heavenly diapers. I tried one on.
They have the cutest designs.
Jimmy, I don't care what it looks like.
Better for the planet, or at least they were when they started, and then they got bought out by other companies, and now they're not. But
I can't worry about the planet financially. That's Jessica Alba's job.
My kids didn't poop. My children were perfect, so I don't want to get some.
I should add that this episode is brought to you by Sainsbury's baby products.
Very niche.
Back to Nicholas Hoult. You guys, actually, I think I have to give you some homework. I think you got to watch The Great. But the thing is, he's so grating in the first few episodes. You kind of do need to let him to come into his own. Actually, skip season 1. I haven't seen season 2. Watch season 2 of The Great. Maybe.
Wait,
hear me
out.
He's bad in
one
it? That I've seen.
No. It's the character is so grating that you probably can't make the right comparisons. But he's a good actor. Maybe between.
That's a show I've seen so many clips of, though. I feel like I already know that show.
I think I would like it. Like when I do see clips, like that's up my alley. I don't have time.
Between seasons 1 and 2 of Harry Potter, we will do a watch of The Great. I think that's good planning, and it's so far ahead that if we dump it, no one will know.
You guys have to finish Hot D so we could talk about it. For one,
I need to start Hot D. That is my priority show when I'm have alone time. Jamie, when have I had time? There was a wedding, there was a tennis tournament, a golf tournament, another golf tournament, and a soccer tournament. I've been working very hard. That sounds like a joke, but I actually have been.
Do you get paid overtime, Mitchell? How's this working?
I don't get paid overtime. So my boss is not listening to this. But he knows. When we're slow in the winter, there's no regrets because in the summer I work insane amounts.
We should talk about how we're going to do this podcast when the show's on.
Yeah. Because that could really mess with my.
We got to email. I'm emailing HBO, and this is going to be a shot. I'm like, hey,
we got to get screeners.
We've got 2 fans.
Actually 3. We're getting at least 4 people regularly, communicating with us.
And our mom. Please give us a screener.
And your friend from your other podcast.
Yes. When she has time.
And she's an author, isn't she? Or is that a different one?
No, not her.
Dang it.
She is a mother.
Hannah watches our TikToks, supportive wife, supportive life.
TikTok's where it's at, though. That's short form.
No,
stuff.
we do, but we do have a good little base.
We do.
Come on, but I'm not asking to be the official podcast, even though we should be, because we just should be. But give us some screeners. At least
someone should pick us up. Here's the thing: no one at the Ringer wants to touch Harry Potter because of J.K. Rowling. Satellite us in, bring us in, be our own little independent podcast. We're cheap hoes.
Not that cheap.
We'll touch it all over the place. Well, it'll be inappropriate how much we're willing to touch Harry Potter, even in spite of J.K. Rowling. Can I wait? One thing I want to bring it back though.
What is this shirt, Steven? What kind of is this a baseball?
No, it's
I like
USA like a soccer jersey style.
I'm sad I missed the 250. I feel like there was a lot of positivity around the 250, and I missed it
because of the World Cup.
The 250 was pretty cool. Well, the World Cup helped. It was really cool to have all the other people here. But I wanted to real quick because this is a fear of mine. I want to go back to the TikTok you talked about earlier that with the lady doing the review of the train show in LA or wherever it was in SoCal. It does not look good. And on top of it not looking good, the shot she shows of like the train, it's like empty. Like they don't have a lot of people in there. And I just need people to think through. We cannot have duds about the Wizarding World, you're just going to hurt the brand. And I'm not going to get all 7 seasons or 8 seasons of my show. So, like, they need to think through this. I don't need you high school theater kids to go dance in a train just so that you can feel cool. Like, you got to put out some quality crap here.
There's going to be some misfires. And I think this was something they hyped up and then we've barely heard about since because I think they knew it was meh. Did you guys ever hear about the Willy Wonka experience that happened up in Scotland that ended up being like, I will send you a video. It was the worst thing you've seen in the world. Like high school students could have put on a better Willy Wonka experience, but it wasn't that bad. But yes, they need to be careful about what they're putting out there. And we're starting to hear that Warner Brothers might start using Harry Potter licensing more. Obviously, I don't know how much control Joe has, but they're expecting some sort of presence in the Middle East and Asia to be announced pretty soon. There's going to be the Harry Potter bit of the Legoland in Germany. The brand is as present as ever. Now, I'm feeling a lot of positivity towards just audience ready to come to the show. But yeah, you can't have too much bad Harry Potter stuff around it. Tom Felton also just announced that he's going to stay in Cursed Child through the end of the year. So that is still rolling right along.
Good for Tom.
But yes, we have our Gilderoy Lockhart. He's a very good actor. I can totally see him in the role. I wonder if anyone did guess this, but it's a good call. How old did you say he was again, Jimmy? 32? No, 36?
36.
Sorry, he was not younger than me. But yes. Now, when you say we need to discuss how we're going to do the show, obviously we need to recap it as soon as possible. So that'll have to mess up my sleep life. Do you want to do that on the podcast, or are you just saying that's something we need to do in general? Because then we can decide how much we're going to grow the podcast. We're going to tell people.
Either way.
Okay.
We just got to figure it out. This is something we need to start thinking about. It is August.
It is the push. I mean, it's happening.
You don't have
people
as much
are
work in the winter.
Putting their plans in. I mean, for now, next thing we know, we're going to get a contract. Well, that's the question. So if it airs, let's say it airs at 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific in the United States of America. I expect we're not going to get it first. So hopefully we get it live. I know, it started here. Hopefully
we paid.
That's true. We get it. So that would be, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 a.m. here. So I would sleep from let's say 10 to 2, wake up, watch the show. We do the podcast and then I'd go back to sleep. And my wife will not pity me one bit for losing the sleep. I just want you guys to know that.
But it sounds like work is lighter in the winter.
I might just have to take Mondays off in the winter. I've got a lot of vacation left because you know what? Because I want to move back to the U.S. when I get my citizenship and stuff. It's really hard to give up this amount of vacation. I see all these people bargaining for like their 11th day, and I'm like, it's 25 standard here. Okay, so I could just take off every Monday of the show and be fine. Anyway,
this is true.
Is it?
This is true
because the premiere is on Christmas Day, right? Which is a Friday. So is it coming out on Fridays or is it coming out on Sundays?
Oh, no, because sometimes they do that and then like the first episode comes out Christmas Day and then they switch it to Sundays or whatever. Yeah.
So HBO has classically always released their big shows on Sundays, like through time. So I would be surprised if it changed to Friday. They have mixed it up a little bit recently, but this is a big one. So I don't know. But
it's fair.
Yeah. We'll have to.
Does that mean we can get an episode on the 25th and another one on the 27th then on Sunday? Or would they make
I wonder if they would do that purely to like give you 2 right away, really, ramp it up like we see. I like the drop where they do like 3, 1, 1, 1. A lot of people hate it, but I'm here for it.
Yeah. It gets you addicted quick. I like it.
Bye, families. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
I could see that though. I could see all the people at our house for Christmas and me being like, hey, this was great. I need y'all to get out so that I can watch Harry Potter in peace now. It's gonna happen.
You guys could watch it downstairs. Oh, I'm thinking about turning our toy room into a movie theater room.
That is a good idea. As the kids,
cool. That would work well.
If you guys come visit, you're gonna be sleeping in the movie theater.
So, Grant, I don't know if you guys know, I have a friend named Grant who's friends with the Allens. He's getting married in like 3 weeks, and I've been looking at tickets for like 6 months, or not 6 months, I don't know, 5 months, whenever he told me about it, and they're really just too expensive. But it's a lot cheaper to fly to Denver than use my points for my American credit cards to fly to Salt Lake for the wedding, and then I can spend some time with Denver on the other side. It's still too expensive. I really shouldn't do it if I'm being fiscally wise. However, if you had a theater room, that would sway me.
So 3 weeks.
Go to Best Buy. Go to the Geek Squad. Do they still have the Geek Squad? Important part of Mitchell lore that I worked at Best Buy for a few years. And if you ever have questions, you just
He could put a screen thing on your phone. So good.
Not anymore. I made the guy do it last time I went, and I felt a little bit ashamed. It's like how I used to install window blinds, but when I need my window blinds installed, I don't know if I'm going to do it.
Well, it's probably different there. Who knows?
That's true. The windows are crooked because they're old.
No AC.
You better install your own freaking blinds. It doesn't get any easier than
I literally have. It depends. Whoa, Steven, you were talking to
I will take your man card.
If it was a standard one, if it was standard and it was easy to drill into, but you don't know how varying people's houses can be, okay? You weren't out there for 12 hours a day drilling weird vertical blinds into cement with awkward German brackets, all right? Things get weird.
I had to go and clean up after Dad when he was installing
so hard
blinds.
to be, Mitchell.
He would just throw stuff on the floor. So Dad would take me with him, and he would install blinds, and I would do like cleanup, and he'd just throw the nails and stuff on the floor. I'm like, you really shouldn't have been doing that.
I was tidy. Maybe it's why I wasn't as fast, but I was tidy.
I'm proud of you. I hope all those blinds are still
we are
hanging.
like the kings and queen of tangents today.
Why are we giving my CV right now? Well, I tried to bring back to Nicholas Hoult to close it out, and I failed epically. I should be
Mitchell is looking for a job, and HBO, please pay us. Please just give us early screeners.
We are.
Yeah. Just give us screeners. Honestly, just give me a screen. We don't even want the screener a day ahead. Give us the strictest embargo in the world, where if we leak, you stab us. But just 12 hours. Just 12 hours.
And a little bit of money.
And a little bit of money. A little bit of money on the set. Okay. I really got to go to bed. Thank you for joining us for this breaking news episode with Nicholas Hoult becoming our new HBO Gilderoy Lockhart. That should be his title, all in one. Please give us a follow at HPTV Podcast or email us at hptvpodcast@gmail.com. We're so excited to keep covering this as more news comes. Back to Hogwarts is very soon, and we will announce our plans on how exactly we're going to cover and release episodes for the season as soon as we know and HBO contacts us about our screeners. Jamie, send us out.
Peace out, snitches.